Falls, making our way down NYC. Ooh, everything is gonna be fine. Oh yeah. Welcome, Andrew Steiner.
Thank you,
Joe's
Joe.
Java Jive.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Thanks for being here, brother. How you feeling on this fine, rainy day?
I'm feeling okay. You know, life is a constant roller coaster these days.
It is a ride. Life can be a wild ride. You're either up or you're down, but we're on the ride, whether you
Oh,
like
yeah.
it or not.
Definitely. Definitely.
Did you like roller coasters growing up?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I went on some crazy water park slides when I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But I don't think I went on a proper roller coaster until I was like 10 or 11, and I did love them then.
I always love them. I mean, I love even more than the ride, getting psyched up in line, looking around. It's going to be great. I'm nervous. I'm excited. That's always fun. Water slides don't do so well with me anymore. I'm a bigger guy.
Yeah.
I tried it at a music festival and was like,
Oh,
you know,
that's no good.
no, that wasn't a good look, but it made fun, sounds and a big scene.
Did you sample it and use it in a beat?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that would be great. Yeah, it was a great thing to meet you and see you, Andrew. Here, tell the folks a little bit about who you are. I mean, I'll just say he's a puppet, he's a pauper, he's a pirate, he's a poet, he's a pawn and a king, and this guy, he's been up and down and over and out. If I know one thing, really.
I love that. That's accurate. Those are all accurate. I am a pawn and a king. That is, in fact, true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to describe myself. I mean, I'm a stand-up comedian, more or less. I act. I'm in school for clinical mental health counseling right now, so my life's taking a little bit more of a serious turn, but I'm still doing the stand-up pretty hardcore, and yeah.
Yeah, it's great, man. Well, you've got amazing, deep, powerful eyes, Andrew. Like me, we've both got eyes that kind of barrel into the audience's soul, and I can see you being a great counselor someday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
In fact, this hour might just turn into therapy for me, if you don't mind.
Sure, that'd be great, because then I don't have to complain myself.
Yeah. Most great friendships, you're kind of amateur therapy for each other. It's
Yeah.
a great way to build friendships.
That is true. That is true. I honestly wish there was more therapy in my friendships. I think that's
Yeah.
part of the reason why I want to become a therapist, because I crave that deep vulnerability with people more than I get it sometimes. I mean, I definitely get it with my wife a lot, which I love.
Let's thank her right off the bat, because I just finished watching your special again, and you thank her at the end. She's awesome. She made everybody food and cleared out the apartment for your stand-up special.
She also hosted the show
Yeah,
on top of it
incredible.
all. Yeah. And acted in the film, and we filmed that all in one day pretty much.
Yeah. Tell the folks about Toast here, what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a stand-up special, but there's like a 10-minute short film at the beginning, and there's a lot of kind of built-in improv-y, clowny elements to it, and yeah, a lot of things that weren't planned happened in it too that were pretty interesting.
It's incredible, folks. You got to check it out. It's just such a unique special. And your wife, how long have you guys been married, and what was her support for you as a comic like?
Well, we're coming up on 3 years, but we started dating at the pretty much beginning of the pandemic. Um, and my support from her is, I mean, we she's a stand-up comedian as well, so we support each other in that way. It's nice to be able to go to a show or a mic with somebody and get notes from someone you trust and can be vulnerable with, and that's really invaluable. Um, but she just supports me in so many ways. I can't even you know, I mean, she's got a good job. I don't. So that's one way.
A lot of support there. What's her name, just so folks can...
Francesca Maglione.
Maglione, Francesca. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I heard her referred to as Frankie. Francesca
Oh yeah, or
is another
Frankie.
great
I
name.
mean, her name now is Frankie Steiner, but I think her stage
Yeah,
name is still Maglione.
Maglione. Oh, that's so great. Well,
Yeah,
you guys have an amazing support system for each other, and it allows you to go out and go on a limb on stage and be a wild man and do what you
yeah.
do, man, which I really am a fan of your style.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you have a unique way of doing it, which is what I really love and cherish. And I think I might have seen you doing videos for the first time with Matthew Silver, who was
Mm.
featured as a cameo in the special. How did you guys meet and connect? He's another wild, unique guy doing this.
Well, just through stand up, really. Like, and he started doing shows and mics for a while during the pandemic, and I really vibed with him, and yeah, we just got along well, and it was kind of funny. It was almost like part big brother, part younger brother in some ways, and part guru. That's how I kind of
Yeah.
view him, because
Mm.
we do podcasts together, and he's just so in the moment when he's performing or when we're doing it that I would be forced to be in the moment. It would be pretty lame for me to be back down and take us out of the moment. So I just had to like hang on for dear life, and that was very fun and challenging in the best possible way.
Oh, I love that. What would that look like in this if in this setting we're in now? Like how would Matthew shock us in the beginning here to give us that in the moment vibe for the rest of the show?
I don't know. I mean, I think he would like just go off and then like look you deep in the eye and be like, "Listen, I know your microphone's red and glowing, but those aren't the fires of hell. Those are the embers of the volcano in Hawaii that you are destined to visit."
Yes, Matthew, I will visit those volcanoes. And you're right, there's nothing hellish about this microphone.
It's funny. He definitely would not have said that,
But I
but
love your spin on it.
I feel like the energy was similar
I
enough.
get you. Yeah. He's got this confrontational, like cosmic jester vibe down that
Hmm.
I loved seeing a documentary about Matthew. And I'm excited to announce in the beginning here, I will be featured at the My First Idiots Hour.
Hey, congratulations.
Yes, June 18th. I will be there. And the next week, my buddy Dagan, who's another avant garde clown who you met when we went to see
Yeah.
your show, he's featured the next week. So
Oh, great.
we love what Matthew's doing down there. And I got to see you come in hot with your clownish opening and incredible thing. And I'd love to add that at the end of this podcast so folks can get a sense of what you did
Sure.
that night. Yeah.
Of course.
How was
Uh,
that for you? How do you like that room and the experience of the Idiots Hour on Wednesdays, Baker's Falls?
the room is great. Yeah, I've seen that show through several of its. I think it's probably had five or six venues in it since its inception. I think I've performed at three of them. Uh, and it's really great just to see Matthew's show get the success it deserves
Yeah.
finally, because he's really committed to like building this thing, and that's basically been his main focus for a couple of years now, and it's really cool to see it pay off.
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool to see it in a beautiful room that feels fitting for it with the doors and the background and the eclectic room and very cool environment. And Ryan and Matthew are doing a great job curating the
Hmm.
show. Oh, it was such a great night. And you come out, I see you have your little crazy keyboard connected. You bring that thing with you everywhere?
No, but I want to bring it more places. I kind of bought it. I'm working on a one man play,
Yes.
and so that I kind of bought that as the soundtrack for the play.
Oh, I love this. I can't wait to see that continue to develop. Yeah, you hooked it up. Matthew's like dressed, got a Frida Kahlo mask, waiting to press play as your intro. And yeah, I just rewatched some of that. I saw you posted it on your YouTube. Just such a powerful moment. And talk about being in the moment. You throw one of your gloves up and it lands on this little speaker. And that's how
Yeah.
I knew, all right, this guy, you're supposed to be here.
And of course that wasn't planned, and I didn't really plan it very precisely what I was going to do. A lot of it was improvised.
Yeah.
But it just kind of worked out because I've done the show so many times. I know the spirit of it, and uh it was interesting to try to transfer what I've been doing in stand up to clown.
Yeah.
And
Wait a minute. You're telling me you didn't actually have your poetry written out on those Amazon boxes and napkins and receipts?
yeah, I'm telling you that. I'm telling you
I
that.
can't believe it. Yeah, this guy here, I thought you were a real poet, Nobel literature expert. It's all off the dome.
It's all off the dome.
But I've seen you do that in your special and in this. It's a very beautiful thing. You're reading like you're reading off of like I got my little
I got my book
poem here.
here right now. You
Here it
know,
is.
I could
That's
do
it.
poetry later.
I do write, and I love poetry. Has that been a part of your life? Poetry?
Yeah, the first time I'd say like I even tried to make people laugh in public was with a what I thought was a funny poem. It wasn't really that funny, but I at the Bowery Poetry Club open
Yeah,
mic,
classic
uh,
place.
yeah, like 2010 or 2011. And yeah, I went to New Paltz, and I took a lot of poetry classes, and I had taken poetry classes in college before that. So yeah, I love
I
poetry.
love poetry. I mean, coming up, I learned about Allen Ginsberg, great poet and figure in America in the 60s. And I'm actually now, here I am, also inspired by him and kind of a Ginsberg kind of comedian. I am doing an Allen Ginsberg open mic at Snugs, right in our
Nice,
college town here.
nice.
Yeah, I think there's a big connection. Poets and comics, we go hand in hand.
Yeah, and there's definitely like meter, rhythm, and like I kind of wish, not wish, but like I wonder what type of poetry I would write now if I was doing it in earnest and like editing it, because stand up has brought me so much ability in terms of refining language in order to get a specific emotional result. And I definitely did not have that skill while I was writing a lot of poetry.
Yeah, when you first started. Yeah, now you have it because you're up there experimenting every night in front of an audience. And how do I get that guttural reaction?
But I wonder what the that looks like when you're talking about sadness or nostalgia or
Yeah.
any other myriad emotions. Like I'm kind of curious as to like how that would work.
Well, I encourage you to do it, and to keep doing this on stage and maybe grace us at the end of the podcast with a poem,
I'd
off
love
the
to.
dome.
Sure.
Yeah. See what we can do. Maybe I'll get my bongo drum and we'll really get beatnicked out on the end. But I think you have such a way of being descriptive and getting into details. And really, I'm like always trying to believe that the stories you're telling are true because you are a really good actor. And then there's a certain point where we realize, like, are you bullshitting with us, Andrew?
I mean, some of them are true. Some of the parts of them aren't true, or some of them are cobbled together from multiple stories.
Yeah.
But there's
And then some
definitely,
are real, real true, and oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of truth to most of them, but
Yeah.
some of them are less than others, for sure.
I love what you do up there. Finding it, a comedy out of your poetry, interest in New Paltz. And were you actually a music student as well there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I know right where you are. We both went to the same college for those watching, and I'm still in the Hudson Valley. How was New Paul's experience for you?
It was great. It was really wonderful. I was a jazz performance major, and that was kind of a miracle in its own right because I didn't really start playing guitar till I was 18, and then did a few years in community college in Westchester, and they had a really good jazz program kind of as a community college. So I got my chops up enough that they let me in. Um,
That's
and
great.
yeah.
And New
I
Paltz is just such a fun school for music and for music students.
Yeah, for sure. Met a lot of great people, great musicians, friends I'm still close with now. My
You
buddy
met the
Dermot,
Oh, Dermot?
who was at the show, he's from I know him from New Paltz.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was he a performer?
No, I
No.
mean he's a musician, but no, he was just chilling in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool. And do you have some other, I know you met one mutual character, Ludwig.
Oh yeah, you said you have a documentary about him?
Yes, so for those of you who are curious who we're talking about, when I first was, introduced to this character is this t-shirt, Ludwig Love, that was up in Kontiki. And that's an old store that his parents owned. And I said, "Who is Ludwig?" And I was told this is one of the sweetest people ever who gave everyone in their life 5 minutes of their time. So this was my intro, and I said, I have to tell the Ludwig story.
That's
And
cool.
tell me your Ludwig story. How did this person come into your world?
Well, when I was first trying stand up at open mics, uh, specifically at the one at Slash Root, which is no longer there. Justin and Amanda Staubel ran it. It was like a computer repair shop slash coffee shop. Ludwig would come at pretty much every time, and we got to be. I wouldn't say we were close, but we'd hug each other and we'd say hi, and I feel like he'd kind of flirt with me. I feel like that was the vibe. But he
You're
was,
cute.
yeah, he's a very sweet guy, and
Did you ever get a love letter?
I don't think so. So maybe I'm full of myself. Maybe he wasn't actually flirting with me.
I know that was something that he did for certain people, where he would like reference Sylvester the cat in these letters to people, and always talking about the Metro card. But was he
Whoa.
supportive of you and your act?
Yeah, yeah, he was very sweet, and I like to think I was supportive of him too.
Yeah, he would get up there and sing, right? Like from the
Mm-hmm.
heart, Celine
Mm-hmm.
Dion or something magical.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think would go and hang out with the jazz students at New Paltz and like secretly get lessons and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hear he would wander into campus, and it's pretty cool. It's because I never actually met Ludwig, but because I was so interested in him, I became this next generation of like, let's keep this guy's legend alive because
Mm-hmm.
he's a one of a kind, and he kind of represents what I think so many people love about this area.
Yeah, he was almost like a SpongeBobian figure. It's just like so positive, relentlessly positive.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm trying to work in that legacy here with my Jolly Joe Jester character. That's
Nice.
what I can do. Be
Yeah.
positive. Are you a pretty optimistic person most of the time?
I try. I have historically been a little bit of a complainer, which I've worked on quite a bit, but I definitely try to see the good in people and myself and the potential for good in the world.
Yeah,
Um, for sure. I
I
mean,
think that's what we need. But I'm also open to complaints if you have any about the podcast so far.
no, I don't have any complaint. I'm a little warm, Joe. Can you do anything
I
about that? Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna open the
well,
window. Let's see
yeah,
if
open
that
the
helps.
window. I know I turned off my AC and I'm drinking hot coffee.
Oh,
Let's both air it up in here a little bit.
yeah, that's much
I'm
better.
gonna open mine too. And while I
Okay,
do, say something that I'll have to hear when it's live.
okay. Wow, I see this dinosaur parts fabric. I wonder what that is. That looks like some kind of cloth puppet.
Oh,
Build your
Serena,
own
how do I keep the peace sign
cloth.
on?
How do you keep the peace? Sign on.
Uh,
Sign on
well,
AOL.com. That's how you keep the peace.
you
Sign
try.
on.
The peace sign, I don't know how it turns on to stay on, but how does it
Tune on, turn in, drop out.
the bottom? Yeah, turn on, tune in, drop out. Ah, look at that. Oh, yeah, keep that off. All right, so we just had a full vibe shift and
Mm-hmm.
Serena says hello.
Hello,
She's a big
Serena.
fan.
Oh.
Yeah, she was hearing your material and crazy some stuff you're talking about and titties and knockers, kingers and queeners and
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I was in Barcelona last week.
really, yeah. Tell me about that because I'm going to be going there later this year. How was
Oh, hell yeah.
Barcelona?
Barcelona was cool. I was only there for 3 days. The rest of our time was in a smaller city called San Sebastian, which was kind of heaven on earth.
Oh,
It was just this city that's nestled between two mountains, and then there are two lagunas in between. Actually, there's three mountains and two lagoons,
mm,
and great food, unbelievable local food. It's part of the Basque region, so they have this language that's unrelated to any other language in the world.
really?
Yeah, their own unique language, and just very sweet people, and they all grew up together and in this tiny city that's super walkable. We and just has amazing food.
Oh, that's awesome. And you found your way to an open mic of some kind?
Yeah, we did some booked open mic in Barcelona, and Frankie did a show at the comedy club there. My show was
Nice.
unfortunately canceled, but I got to watch her jealously.
Yeah. That's great. Oh, I love that dynamic for you guys. That's really
Hmm.
cool. Yeah, and I love that you got to go travel together and see this new country and explore the world. Isn't that the goal really of the comic is to be invited to go around the country or the world and do your
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, exactly, for sure. I mean, this trip, it's kind of a complicated. It was almost didn't happen. My mom is not doing so well, and we moved up to New Rochelle from the city. Here we go with the complaints. Here's this is why I didn't. This is why I wanted to give you therapy, so I didn't go into this, but it's
I'll hold a
happening.
little space for you and send some love to you. No, don't fear. I can handle a few complaints.
Yeah,
But we're
but
sending love to your mom,
thank
and
you.
yep, we are praying for her, and here for you in this time.
Yeah, but we've been caretaking for the past 6 or 7 months, so we kind of needed a break.
Yeah.
And luckily, thankfully, thanks to my aunt who was willing to watch her, we were able to have it despite a hospitalization as we were dropping her off.
Mm. Wow, that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh man, and you found a way though, and you got home afterwards.
and my mom's doing well. She's in the other room right now.
Good. Oh, sending her beams of love. What's her name?
Joanne.
Joanne, like the Lady Gaga song. Love
I
it.
don't know that song.
You don't know it?
Uh-uh.
I think she's like, "Stay, Joanne." Something. Serena got me into being a little monster.
Okay, I gotta play
What
it for
kind of
my mom.
music? What kind of music do you listen to?
Everything. I'm trying to think. What am I listening to a lot these days?
Gregorian chants like you did in your wow.
Oh, I like Diamond Jubilee by Cindy Lee. I think that's their name. I like that album a lot lately. I'm diehard Replacements fan. That's
Nice.
my favorite band. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like a lot of jazz, a lot of hip hop, a lot of rock.
Yeah, very good. Good stuff. If you like rock, Check out Jolly Joe Jester too. My mom's song for her is Vicky Sue. That's my mama's name.
Okay.
And my buddy's in New Paltz in the middle of COVID, and my mom was sick and getting ready to transfer to the other side. But
Hmm.
while she was with us, they said, "Let's make a little album, one song a day, and each person gets a chance to make one song." So I made Vicky Sue the anthem for my mama, and she got
Oh,
to hear it with all of her wisdom and phrases in there. It was a
oh,
special project.
that's so sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun thing, and I just loved jamming and living in New Paltz. We even had some underground house shows and stuff where we lived. Did you ever
Nice.
have any of that when you were around?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of the band. This guy Jake. No, it wasn't Jake Fromm. Different Jake. I forgot the
Not
name of the
Jake
band.
Albee.
No,
No.
I forget. I
But there
forget.
was a scene.
Yeah, I remember going moshing for the first time in a basement show that I was arguably too old for. I was like 25 when I was in New Paltz. You know.
Yeah. And you're just still like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's me right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go mosh later.
One of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life took place in Marlboro in a basement. Do you know that band Neutral Milk Hotel?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I love them.
So their saw player has a band. It's now called the Orbiting Human Circus, but back then it was called the Music Tapes. And he'd
Yeah.
perform anywhere you offered him. And it was a high schooler's basement. There was like 10 of us, maybe. Uh, Me and my two buddies from college. And they basically like, they blindfolded us and they had like a fan and sound effects. So it made it sound like they were throwing knives past our head and we feel them flying past us. And they did this thing where they took our goals or something and they read our minds and then we burned them. Built the fire and we jumped over the fire. Like it was a whole
Wait,
crazy.
you're kidding me.
It was very psychic. Like I felt like I was tripping, but we were all sober.
Whoa, this is wild. My
Hmm.
gosh, this sounds like a ritual of sorts that happened.
That show was very much inspirational for me artistically. Like I want to recreate that vibe all the time.
Yeah, there's something about it, right? What is it that's so cool? Like the added elements and doing more than just a show, like when Andy Kaufman takes the audience for milk and cookies or something. Like it's
I
so
th-
special.
I think there's something very powerful when you can get past even the most jaded person's reticence to like have an experience,
Yeah.
and you can kind of make them not only have fun and be in the moment, but like question what is life, what is reality. Anyway, I was taking this for granted.
Ah, so true. When you can find that shift in reality or somebody's point of view, that's a whole nother kind of performance.
Yeah.
You do
So,
that.
oh, thank you. I mean, whether I do it or not, that's my aspiration.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
way to shoot high. And so connect the dots for me. So you're coming from New Paltz. You have that day. You walk across the stage, and then what happened? What happened next in your world?
Um, New Paltz, I graduated. This was 2013, I guess 2012. And I moved back home and with my mom in New Rochelle. I was delivering pizza, and I guess I just started doing stand up comedy like more earnestly.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Is it true that one of the pizza shop guys didn't like the comedy so much? Didn't like your ISIS
oh,
joke?
that actually happened in New Paltz. That
Really?
I really did get slapped in the face while hosting an open mic at the pizza store. You know Jordan's? Remember Jordan's?
Where was it? Because it's probably a different name when I got there. Not
So
like right near this campus.
the corner pizza shop, like right next
Yeah.
to Bacchus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if
That's where you got smacked.
yeah Jordan was the. I mean, I hate to blow up his spot, because
Yeah, we
I
don't
don't
have,
really hold any harsh feelings towards him, but
but unnamed Michael Jordan slapped you in the face. Number
yeah,
23.
yeah. Well, what happened was I think I was hosting the open mic. It was my open mic at his place, and two older women came in for dinner, and he handed me a piece of paper as I'm on stage, like starting the mic, that says "keep it clean," and I literally just read it and say "keep it clean." Like I didn't even mess with
Trying
him
to
and
be
start
subtle.
cursing. Yeah, but it's not like I said, "Oh, keep it fucking clean, this pussy ass bitch." Like I didn't say that. I wasn't like really rebelling against it.
Yeah,
I
just
was
said,
just
okay, keep it clean.
I was just trying to like be on stage and be entertaining because I was a brand new comic and he just handed me this brand new twist in what I was now doing on stage. So anyway, he's yeah. As soon as I read it, he just slapped me in the face. At least that's how I remember it.
Wow. It was the note and the slap. It as one continuous effort.
Yeah,
Wow. Man, people you cannot slap comics, okay? I know Will Smith got a free pass, but it's not cool.
yeah. That was my second assault in New Paltz for stand up comedy.
Oh,
the
God.
The
You
first one
couldn't
I deserved a little more. It was at the Muddy Cup or Cafeteria, as it was also.
cafeteria. That's where
Yeah,
I was a barista for a while. Yeah.
yeah, and the open mic host, um, I was basically telling a dirty joke about fucking machines or something, and she
Yep.
cut the mic off, and I didn't get off stage. I was like, "You lost your sense of humor. You have no sense of humor,
Ooh.
whatever." And then I guess that hurt her feelings, and she went outside and was like crying, and then like a week later, in front of Snug, she spit on me. So
Oh.
so
Wow.
that was
Why
number
do you
two.
think that happens? I mean, do you think there's something about your face or
I mean, I
something?
think my material was probably pretty bad and probably pretty unlikably delivered.
Yeah.
And to be fair, there were kids in the audience at that mic, and I probably just shouldn't have done it. But I was just like, "This is my art. This is who I'm trying to be on stage." So they shouldn't be at this open mic if
Yeah.
if they
If
don't
you
want to
don't
hear
like
this.
it, get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so I kind of deserve that one a little more, for sure.
Yeah, that's sad. Well, I'm hoping that we can usher in a new era of New Paltz comedy. Our Snugs 9 p.m. seems to be a warm environment for us.
Oh, good, because when
Yeah.
I did comedy at Snugs, I bombed so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Someday you got to come back and redeem yourself now that you'll be our featured act
Cool.
and come on down. First Tuesday of the month, we do a show every month there. Hoping to start somewhere else here soon too.
Nice. I would do it at the music mic too, so it was a little different.
Yeah, the Thursday one is tricky, it's late in the evening and you don't always know what to expect. But we create a powerful vibe, and I often do it by being a eccentric act. Like I loved in your special where you just took a moment and like banged the medicine bowl.
Oh
It's
yeah.
that was powerful. Was that improvised? On the spur of the moment?
That was planned. Uh I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of people I've upset with my comedy, uh there was, I don't know if the one in that final of the special was the second one or the first one, but I had to ring the bell again to clear the energy because someone who was gracious enough to come to the show and buy a ticket was not having a good time because they were uh I think they were kidnapped in a cult recently, like,
Oh God.
and they were forced to listen to the cult leader talk nonstop, and my special was triggering them really hard. And they just and it was in a very tiny room, like, so I couldn't not see this person getting sadder and sadder and eventually start weeping.
Oh
so,
no. That'll
so
throw you off.
I had to stop the special and be like, "Hey, you can go. You don't have to stay. It's fine." and they
Yeah.
left.
Let's let you out. Take a slice for the road.
Yeah, but they hung out and just in the hallway, and like, it was good. We luckily we had really good people. Jessie Wayburn was the production manager, and she like really like made her feel comforted and like, you know, listened to her and all that.
Well, you had a very great team for that, and it was an amazing special. What a great thing to put together. But you never know what's going to trigger somebody or upset someone, or maybe just the sound of your voice or
My ugly
doing
face,
your face,
my
my
punchable
face.
face.
I think it's often the material, the beauty of being a comedy, world. You have to sort of toe the line. You want to be on the edge of what's acceptable or shocking. Have you ever tried a clean comedy or had a set where there was family in the audience and you had to kind of tweak?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done a kids show and it actually went pretty well, but it wasn't my material. I wrote new material for the show specifically, and then
Yeah,
lost it all and never did it again. But it went
yeah,
well. It went well. And I flirt with clean comedy every now and again. I keep saying I'm gonna do more clean comedy, and for sure my comedy's gotten cleaner. But I think it's very hard for me as a person who I mean, I was officially diagnosed with oppositional defiance disorder as a kid,
ah,
which
we have
basically,
this in common, according to my fiance.
oh, nice, nice. Yeah, so if someone tells me to do something, not in a nice way, but like orders me to do something, I very much want to do the opposite despite them.
Yeah, just like the story where you got with the slap, and that's why you have to be slapped while you're given information. So no,
Yeah,
they're serious.
yeah, exactly.
Do the
Ex-
dishes.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, pretty much. So,
Yeah,
so it kind of feels like this platform where I am technically allowed to say whatever I want within reason. There will be consequences depending on what it is, but like to like shut it down completely and just like, because I do like that there's a venue for saying the things that you're not supposed to say in society, in polite society or
yeah,
professional situations. I do think that's beautiful, and not taking that as an opportunity to say things that need to be said or that you need to say, whatever, is kind of a waste.
yeah. Where else do you get up there and talk about anything? Brushing your teeth with your bidet.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
say
Or like at the clown show, I talk about I'm going to give herpes to everyone in the world or something.
spread herpes like
Yeah,
Johnny Appleseed.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I loved it. Yeah, this is our one shot in life to really go out there and be wild and seize the day. Carpe diem.
Let the shadow speak.
Yes. That's as new for me. The shadow work
Hmm.
business.
Me too. It's
How you doing, buddy? You good? He's happy.
is that a dog or a cat?
It's a shadow.
Oh.
it,
I thought you were really talking to a pet.
lo- it was believable, right?
It was good
Yeah.
acting.
I know. I dive deep into it. Yeah. I'm a bad actor, but I realize I'm much better than I think.
That was
Like
good acting. That was good
like
acting.
I'm glad you believe it. Yeah, like for my April Fool's joke this year, I don't know if you saw, I pretended to be cast on SNL.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
And I was very excited. A lot of people were rooting for me, so pumped. So the next day on April 2nd, I was like, well, I can't tell these people that I was screwing with them. So this is, I guess, my public confession if somebody's listening in. I lied on April 2nd again and said friends from my hometown pranked me
Oh,
and
whoa.
pretended to be Lorne Michaels and emailed me. And I started to cry and say, it's really screwed up that you guys, did this to me. I really believed it. And I thought that this was obviously, people are going to be like, who know me? Oh, he's kidding again. But
Yeah.
people were like, those assholes,
Oh,
Joe.
wow.
I'm gonna kill them.
What'd you say on day three?
I went to a comedy night and told them like the whole thing was a lie.
Oh,
And
good.
if anybody really knows me, I just interviewed on this podcast the director of the new Andy Kaufman documentary.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Alex Braverman. And I said, if anybody really looks into my world and what I'm all about, you'll know I'm kidding.
I think I
But a few,
listened to
yeah,
someone on Marin talking about that documentary.
yeah, that was one of Andy's old girlfriends, and she was on Marin talking about it, and I had the director on Joe's Java Jive.
That's
I'm such
awesome.
an Andy Kaufman fan. Do you
Me
remember
too.
when you first heard about him?
When did I first? Oh, definitely Jim Carrey's Man on the Moon. Like, I remember
Yeah.
seeing that when I was like 11 and loving it.
Yes, right. That was my
You,
intro too. It was
Tony
on TV, and
Clifton.
somebody told me this is Andy and Tony Clifton.
So good. You
Yeah, and it
got
blew
the
your mind.
wings of a duck. You got the wings. Chicken wings from Kentucky Fried.
What the thing? Whoopie doo, whoopie die. Stick a needle in your eye.
It's so good. I love it.
Oh, yeah, I really want to be more Tony Clifton esque. Have you ever
I
had the urge to create an alter ego like
I
that?
did. I mean, I used to perform as Johnny Rocket. I used to have like a jet black wig and I'd pretend to be like a drugged out rocker guy.
Oh, where's that?
That's
Why'd you
probably.
stop?
I mean, I just it didn't gain any traction. I've been doing it for a while, and I was just like, no one's demanding it, so I'm not demanding people to watch it.
I'm not gonna keep pushing Johnny Rocket down their throats.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun
That's
sometimes.
fun. I'm starting a new one. I really shouldn't be talking about it because if I really want to be like, no, this is somebody else. But Mad Jad,
Nice. I
an
like that.
angry character to go against my Jolly Joe happy guy.
Mad Jad.
It's my shadow. Back to the shadow stuff.
I like it.
Yeah, it's my initials, Joseph Anthony Davis. And when I was younger, I would create wrestling shows with my friends, like Andy, and be like, "I'm Mad Jad.
You have a good mad face.
I'm pissed."
That's
Kids
a
like
good
that
mad
face.
face. It's hard. I really struggled early on in comedy about being angry and funny at the same time. I think I
It's
can
hard.
finally pull it off sometimes when it comes from a very natural place. But like, I think I had too much unresolved anger beneath the surface that it was a little scary rather than funny. You
People are like,
know?
"Uh-oh, he's diving into a real feeling here."
Yeah, that he might not know how to control or may not be even aware of.
Yeah. And it's still, yeah, because anger is normally a scary thing. Like it is usually like can be triggering, just like we talked about how, anything can. But anger specifically, it's one of those scary emotions that we don't like seeing expressed. But a guy like Lewis Black can go up there, or Sam Kinison, and we love to see them explode.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Does so
Yep.
it's they're so good. I mean, Kinnison less so, but Lewis Black and Bill Burr specifically are so good at being loud and angry and from a real place without being threatening.
Yeah, they have a wink wink about it and a smile
And they're under
through it.
control. You can tell they're emotionally intelligent enough that they're not they're fine. They're under control.
Yeah, you don't have to be scared, and that's so much of what it is. That's what Jim Carrey talked about in the Jim and Andy special. If you go down the rabbit hole with that, but he was the free of concern guy. We're up there to be free of concern. And in the Andy documentary, it says, "They laugh, we laugh, everybody laugh."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember hearing Jim Carrey talk about his own stand up where he just like would improvise his whole set and he would say like, yeah, it's my job to go up there and be confident and not worried and where everyone else wishes they could feel that way and inspire them to feel a little bit more like that.
Yeah, he wasn't somebody you saw raging out or like Robin Williams. So it's hard to say where do I let rage live? And that's why I said I got to get a separate character because Jolly Joe Jester's out there doing God's work. It wouldn't be right for him to go up one week and just start going off on Trump or something like that.
Yeah.
Have different fields.
Yeah. Occasionally I've found this voice that sounds a little bit like my dad, but it's just me. But like I'll be pissed off and I'll like kind of like let people know that either I think they're full of shit or yeah, what they said was stupid or just
Yeah,
this and but I can do it in a lighthearted enough way that it's actually funny finally.
absolutely. Yeah, you have a lot of that, and I loved some of your funny voices. Like, there's this character who gets abducted by aliens.
Mm.
I love that. I just thought that was so funny hearing a voice like that go into the deep depths of his abduction story.
So you want to pick apart what's true and what's not about that?
Yeah, tell me, let's dive into that and folks can go see the special and get to see what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. So part of that character is based off of um a comedian I know. I don't think he still does comedy, but he still does podcasts. He's a good guy. I really like him. Bill Cannon, who's got a podcast, Police Off the Cuff, and he was the former head of Manhattan North Homicide.
Wow.
Um,
That
he's
explains the voice.
Yeah, but also there was a guy on his podcast who did kill like 7 or 8 people, and then the courts were like, yeah, this was justified, and it was kind of mind boggling. Like I don't know what it was like for him to be in the Bronx in the '70s, being a police officer. I'm sure it was traumatizing and dangerous, but he also was. It felt weirdly like he was bragging about it. So he's partially based off of that guy. And then he's also based off of this cop in Pelham. I remember dressing up inspired by I guess Tom Green and Jackass a bit. I like
Yeah.
dressed up and I like had this weird alien mask and I had it over a tape recorder on a little trolley playing show tunes backwards. And I was walking throughout town and I ran into this police officer and he just started telling me like about how aliens are real and they're all around us. So
Yeah.
it's a composite of those people.
You're
And
talking to one right now.
oh shit. Okay.
Oh man. And so you combine these forces. I mean, this is how a lot of the greatest characters are born. People
Mm-hmm.
taking parts of one and parts of another and building some amalgamation. That's how
Yeah.
Matt Foley, Chris Farley's motivational speaker, was born.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was like his little bit of his dad and his football coach, and throw on the glasses and he's off. You
I
know.
live in a van down by the river. Chris Farley's
Yeah,
so good.
he was one of my inspirations. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
I'm kind of jealous of people who can like Matthew Silver, like Chris Farley, like Jim Carrey, who can kind of just like be physical in that way and let loose and be so unencumbered. And like, there are moments where I can get close to that, but it takes extraordinary circumstances for me to get there.
Yeah, whereas those guys, they just seems like they can just turn it on. And Farley, of course, was probably
Oh
snorting
yeah.
a line before he ran out onto Conan. But whenever he did, like, I've been thinking about that he has this infectious energy that in every improv scene from when he was in Chicago all the way up through, it was like that guy has got the room in the palm of his hand, and we're all riding this wave of him. It's
So good.
cool. You had some physicalness, man. You were like a circus performer on the railing there at your
Yeah,
clown idiots hour.
that's true. That's true.
I was
Uh,
like, did he practice this?
no. I mean, I guess I did try to balance a lot growing up on things randomly, but other
Yeah.
than that, no.
Well, you definitely have it. I wanted to say before we moved off, do you believe in aliens? Have you ever had a experience?
I
This is a
don't.
podcast, so we talk about stuff like that.
I mean, I guess on DMT, I've had an
Ooh,
experience, but
yeah.
sober, not really. No.
But you've connected with the universe in that way and
Yeah.
had a one-on-one with that world.
Yeah, I felt like entities were talking to me and teaching me, and even mushrooms to a certain extent feels that way.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So I've heard from people,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
uh
How about you? Do
um
you believe in aliens?
I do, and I'm very much into this idea that there are entities out there like and that if the aliens are around that they are able to kind of tune in. Lately I've been thinking that they can zoom in and say which monkey do I want to watch today. Let me zoom in and watch. They're entertained by us. We're their HBO where they say, let's go see what Andrew's up to and zoom in on one of them. But I think on another level, the idea that they have some wisdom that we are not quite ready for what they would want to give us
Hmm.
because we're still so war mindset and this is my land and that on a major level as a whole we're still a little closed off, but I think it's changing. I think there's people who are starting to open up and be more spiritual and kind of connected to no matter regardless of your religion, race, or
It
all that,
also it also seems like there's a lot more sightings lately. So
right? That
yeah.
is, and they're always there. It's just our ability to see them is increased. And I know, yeah, this year in New Jersey, there was a lot of stuff with those drones and shooting
Hmm.
down balls of lights in the sky. But all that's fun and fantastical. But what I really love and what I've talked about on the podcast before is the Seth material from the 60s, which is this story of a woman in my hometown of Elmira, where I'm just coming from. I had my 10-year high school reunion there this last weekend.
Nice.
Elmira Jane Roberts was this woman who channeled an entity. Started with like a Ouija board, and then she realized, wait a minute, I'm hearing the words before they're even on the board. Let me try to use my voice. 10 books later, millions of copies sold. Her husband would record what this entity name that identified itself as Seth. And there was all these books and things that were put out into the ether all about what happens when you die, reincarnation, all this fantastic stuff. But ultimately, the big phrase that sums it all up, you create your own reality. And that's the big Seth Speaks thing that kind of started stuff like The Secret and the New Age movement and manifestation.
But
It all
didn't didn't
came out of
didn't
that.
Goddard do a lot of that stuff earlier?
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of the people have said this stuff before that it's all like it's slipped in, but I guess the Seth view of it got more into realities and where we're all at, in our own world and how it might even affect your physiology or your body and the world and the weather and all these things. So it's a powerful thing that you can listen to. That first Seth Speaks book. It's a great audio book, even
yeah,
regardless of how it came into the
Seth
world.
Speaks. I feel like I've seen that book somewhere, but I definitely haven't cracked it open.
Yeah, YouTube and Spotify, and check out an earlier episode where I've actually talked to the woman Oshara who runs the house where this all comes out of.
Oh
But
wow.
either way, channeling and that kind of stuff, there's that guy Bashar who's
I know,
online.
Bashar. I don't know how I feel about Bashar. Honestly, like I've heard him on podcasts, I've watched his videos, and my bullshit radar kind of goes off a little bit. But then
Yeah.
again, a Zen Buddhist monk who I respect very much, she recommended him to me and believes him. So who
Yeah.
knows?
It's an interesting thing where he has his roots also in the Seth study stuff, like Bashar will credit it. But a lot of these guys, even if you are like questioning the theatrics of it and does he have a little thing that he turns on or is it a combination of his personality and maybe some entity? But what I realize is that each of us, and guys like you and me who put ourselves on a stage and say, all right, what's coming in tonight? That there's a similar thing that he just has heightened and on a specific thing of helping people or trying to help them see things differently. But yeah, I lose him a little bit too when he starts getting into the aliens and the Pleiadians and the this stuff. But I'm ultimately diving headfirst into this woo woo new age stuff.
Hey, if it works, whatever.
I try to be the first like metaphysical stand up,
Nice.
cosmic comedian.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Well, we're getting close to the end here. I before we leave the folks and show them a dose of what my angle of you at the Idiots Hour. Is there any other last announcements or things you want to say and a poem maybe to leave us?
Yeah, I would just say that I'm doing the first show of my one man play Time Ninja, a bisexual action adventure story.
Yes. Coming soon. A
And
bisexual action story.
keep you on the edge of your hot pants. Uh, um, no, it's gonna be at the Merkin Hole in Bushwick on June 28th, Saturday, June 28th at 8 p.m. Only one show. There's only 25 seats, so get them while they still exist.
That
Cause
will sell out.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
hope I can be there to see you shine on that June 28th. Ninja time. Woo!
Time Ninja.
You are the
So
time ninja.
so I'll have a ticket link up on my website, andrewsteiner.net.
Amazing stuff. And see if you got around there, one of your incredible off the dome poems to close us out.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a lot any off the dome poems, but I do have a written poem that
Oh, even better.
I was working on yesterday. And sometimes it we come to a point in our lives where we have to admit to ourselves that our abilities are never going to be quite what they want them to be, but they can be more than we ever expected in ways we never could have imagined.
You hear that, Joe? Your abilities can be more or less than you've ever
Both,
anticipated. They're
both,
both.
more and less.
I love it. Ah,
So the
give me
poem is
more
the
or
poem is
less.
called Cyborg.
SIGH board.
Mm-hmm. Touch me with the metal and silicon, bore into my heart, make me forget that I was ever human, turn me into a tool, upload me to the web, download me to the strand, make the spider's eye multitudinous. If your God has forgotten, my God has always remembered and will never forget. He is infinite. He is a turtle. He is the shell on your ice cream out of the truck made of carcinogenic chemicals. Crack it open. So sweet, so chocolatey, but now you got a stomach ache. Diarrhea on the floor. I love you.
You too. Mm, that's great. Oh, Andrew, so beautiful to have you on the podcast, my friend. You're such a unique guy. I love what you're doing. Just keep it up and keep tooting that horn and beating that drum for
Thank you,
you and
Joe.
Frankie. And thank her on behalf of Comics Everywhere for leading her example. And I wish you guys both success.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me on. I love you too, man.
Absolutely. One love. Well, come on down and snug sometime. And I can't wait to see you at your one-man show. Andrew B. Steiner, what's your website?
AndrewSteiner.net.
Amazing. And folks, please support this incredible friend. He's on to big and better things, and you can always see his incredible social media stuff on Instagram. It makes me laugh every time I see it. Peace and love, Andrew.
Peace.
Bye. Yeah.
Friends, the magic is stirring. It's in us. It was in you the whole time. Did you know that? It was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Activated it for you. Thank you, Doobie.
Yeah.
All right. Up next. You good, Matthew? Okay. All right. Up next, Andrew B. Steiner, aka Amper. You good, Matthew? Okay. Andrew B. Steiner, aka Ampersand Baloney Squiggles.
Literally edgy.
Sorry, that was so unimpressive. It's okay. I have a secret, guys. Can I trust you guys with a secret?
Yeah.
Besides the fact that I have herpes. It's not the secret.
No more secret.
I mean, tell everyone anyway. Job interviews. What's your biggest weakness? I have herpes. It's also my biggest strength. I'm resistant to herpes. No, I just, my secret is I'm not really a clown. I don't like laughing. I don't like making other people laugh. There's nothing funny about life. This is a sick, sad, pathetic world. It is. There's a lot of suffering, a lot of unused duffel bags, sitting in closets. It could be filled with all sorts of amphetamines. And they're just unfulfilled. So I'd like to read you guys a poem. A deep, I'm gonna get vulnerable. I want to rip my heart out, rip my intestines out, my veins, my viscera, and I want you guys to just feel the human condition, because we're all human, right?
Yeah.
Or not, I don't care. I like non-humans too, I don't discriminate. Are there any, extraterrestrials here? Like secret extraterrestrials?
Secret.
With herpes? Alright, so I want to read a poem that I wrote a few days ago about a very traumatic incident I experienced when I was 12 years old. Middle school, we all know middle school is a rough time. People are cruel to each other. And basically what happened is I invited my friend over to my house for the first time. And I wanted to make him laugh. And we all know what doing that gets you. Shame, pain, suffering, humiliation. So I invited him over and I tried to make him laugh, and I had one of those ball pumps, like those rubber ball, like a kickball. And when he went to the bathroom, I shoved it up my ass and I pumped myself up. And I just, I released massive, beautiful farts. And he was cracking up, he was crying, laughing. And then at school, the next day, he told the entire class that I put things up my ass in front of him. It was very embarrassing. and my teacher made me wash my hands in front of everybody. It's not funny. It's not fucking funny. So anyway, this poem is about that.
Nice.
A great man once said, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. He created the atomic bomb in New Mexico. It was World War II. And I experienced a similar feeling when I discovered that I could pump my ass up full of silly gas. It's not funny. Stop laughing, please. Jimmy, you were so cool. We used to eat at lunch. We loved the same type of juice. Purple! You were so cool, and you taught me that Legos came from Denmark. I thought you knew everything. But what you did not know is how a young man's heart tatters in the wind like an American flag planted on the moon. In 1961. And what you did not know is that I could never find a friend again who I felt comfortable sticking things in my rectum in front of. And that has been to my great detriment. I did not get into Dartmouth because of you! Fucking dick lighter. And I just want you to know that I forgive you. But I don't forgive myself for not checking to see if you were worthy of my trust. And that is something that I've learned from the lovers of my life, and I've learned from my wife, and I've learned from the night that I slit my tendon on. And I'm amending on, and I'm gonna be free, and I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna be a spreader of herpes all across the world. Thank you.